What's up, YouTube? What's up, athletes? Look, as the title of the movie goes, of the movie, as the title of the video goes, we'll be looking at the most overlooked key to success, in my opinion. And the best way to illustrate this is through a story. Probably heard of the story about two donkeys that went to a water well, as you see in the background over here. Background to help illustrate this story. I'm gonna tell a story as if you never heard the story before. I'm sure you have. So you had a donkey. Donkey comes to the water well looking for water. The water well, unfortunately, is dry, but he doesn't know that. Sticks his neck too far into the water hole, trying to get some water, and falls into the water well, into the well. And lo and behold, another donkey comes through, and same thing happens. Stick his neck into the water well, looking for some water. Couldn't find the water. It was dried up, and also fell into the water well. So to throw it out there, the main thing about the most no, this is how we're gonna do it. So first, you had donkey one and donkey two, both into the water well, and some bypassers come by. They seen that, or actually they heard donkey two well, and I don't really know what noises donkeys make. Um, but imagine you got the donkey on Shrek. He's yelling, right? He had a big mouth. So you got the donkey number two from Shrek yelling at the bottom of the well. So some bystanders come by and they see that the well is empty, is deep, and these donkeys is falling in. So to avoid more donkeys being lost, they decided to throw dirt into the well to close it up and prevent more loss of donkeys. And as they throwing the dirt on, donkey number one just sat there and got the dirt thrown on him. Donkey number two from Shrek, he shook the dirt off his back and stepped on it. So every time they threw more and more dirt, he shook the dirt off his back and stepped on it. So eventually, donkey number two gets out the well. Donkey number one got buried alive. So what I want to illustrate or highlight in this story is the mindset of both donkeys. Donkey number one had multiple chances to have an optimistic or positive outlook, yet he didn't. The first chance was when he fell in the water well. He could have been making a whole bunch of noises like donkey number two from Shrek. Yet fell down there, maybe broke his leg or hurt his hoof, foot, and was feeling sorry for it. So he's down at the bottom, crying internally, and yet he could have saved the other donkey and told him like, "Yo, there's no water down here. Don't mess around and slip in like I did." Could have saved the life, but he didn't. But the second donkey did in fact save the life because he was yelling. So the bystanders came by and filled up the water well. The other moment that donkey number one continued to feel sorry for himself, throw a pity party, right? Because at the same time with donkey number two from Shrek was shaking the dirt off his back and stepping on top of the dirt, in the beginning, it wasn't no big difference. Both donkey number one and donkey number two was probably pretty still leveled, the same height. But eventually, donkey number one had to see that donkey number two, the track, was getting taller or starting to rise. And that could have been at knee level or even thigh level, which is pretty high. for the other donkey, where he realized that wait, donkey number two is getting higher or taller, and here I am, I'm getting stuck in this dirt. Still wasn't that deep because it's knee or thigh level, so he could have shook the rest of that dirt off and start stepping on top as well, like donkey number two. But yet he didn't. And so again, he got up to neck height, right? And donkey number one, just there now, he's neck deep up in the mud, in the dirt, and he's seeing that donkey number two from Shrek is over top of his head. He's looking at his feet now. And I wonder in that moment what donkey number one was thinking. Probably the exact same way. Ah, it's too late now. Woe me, right? Not taking any accountability for himself or herself or itself. And so it was multiple times that donkey number one had a chance to change his mindset, yet he didn't. And he ended up getting buried alive. Where donkey number two didn't stop to think about, oh, well, me. It was just more finding a situation, screaming, Lord, help me to get out of this situation. And lo and behold, what was meant to put him in the dirt or bury him actually was the catalyst to lift him back up to the surface and to safety. So that's the most overlooked key to success. It's in our mind. You have to believe it. You have to believe in yourself, even when the goings get tough. Actually, when it's harder or when you feel it at your weakest, that's when you need to muster up that strength to believe, that deep belief, that faith from within. Hey, with that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to hear more content like this, um, like and share.